Hey, everybody, welcome back to PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan podcast. I love you.
For those of you who are not watching on YouTube,
He
you don't know
started
what.
shaking Barney like he was laughing in my face, and it made me laugh, and I couldn't do my proper intro. But anyway, here we are at PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan podcast, and we are your hosts, Big Bang Theory super fans, married couple Cat,
And Paul,
and we're
and
back.
welcome to everybody on YouTube that's watching us through YouTube. We've got some people that are now starting to go and find our channel. We've actually got 6 subscribers now.
Woo!
I know it's a big time, 6 subscribers, so it's starting to happen. And thank you to everybody who keeps coming back time and time again. There we go. We've got some graphics there. And thank you everyone coming back time and time again to Spotify. We've almost got 50 subscribers on that one, so
Oh, that's awesome.
we are going well. But we've got a lot of people that are still finding us, which is fantastic.
Yep,
We've had a very, very busy week, even though this week has been a short week. We've had a
we
busy
have.
week.
Well, it was Labor Day here in Australia on Monday,
Was it?
wasn't it?
No, it was
Yeah.
the King's birthday.
No, it was Labor Day.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
well,
first Monday of October is Labor Day.
I don't care. The fact is, I
The
had a
king's
3 day
birthday
week.
is in June because
No,
he's using the same holiday his mother
as
used.
his mum. Yeah. I
I
don't
miss
care
her.
as long as I get a 3 day long
Weekend?
weekend. I don't care. I don't care what happens or what's going on. All I know is that on a Monday, I don't have to get up and go to work. So I'm completely fine with that one. And we've had emails and we've also had people that are answering questions. Remember, at the end of the month, we're going to be doing a mailbag. So that's going to be a regular thing every month. That at the end of every month, we'll do a big mailbag. So everybody who's sitting there going, hang on a minute, I'm answering questions, I'm sending emails. Why aren't they getting read? That's what we're going to be doing. So hold on to everybody. We're going to be doing it. And anybody that's watching YouTube, you can see there's a t-shirt that I'm wearing called Event Horizon. And anybody who knows that movie, that is not, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies, but I definitely do enjoy watching that movie. So if anybody's ever seen Event Horizon, reach out to me at perpetualmotionsquad00 at gmail.com and let me know what's your favorite scene in that movie. And if you haven't seen it, you should go and see it.
I
It's
just like that
awesome.
it has Sam Neill in it. I like
Sam
Sam
Neill,
Neill.
Lawrence Fishburne, they're both great actors. Lawrence Fishburne has come a long way from the FFFFF scenario, where he's a really accomplished actor.
Mm,
And in this movie, he's outstanding. Yes, it is a horror movie, but it's a horror slash
thriller.
psychological thriller movie. But it's one of it's a really great movie. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, I even went to a horror movie club which I haven't been for the most part of this year because all the movies that they're putting on, I've got on my own home
Well,
cinema.
that's the thing is we have a
It's
home
really
cinema.
hard.
It makes it really hard to pay to go out to the movies.
Yeah, it is. Although,
But that said,
yes,
on November 19th, which is a Wednesday, we have tickets to a preview night of Wicked for Good.
yes, we're going to see Wicked for Good,
Yep, the
and
yep,
we also get a complimentary glass of champagne when we walk in,
yep.
which means that Kat will be having one in either hand because
Two-fisted drinker.
yep, because I will be driving and I'm not drinking and driving, and we get goodie bags, which means that Kat gets 2 goodie bags. But
Collectibles.
yes, so we're going to be going to the preview before the. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
it's
so
almost
it
like the
actually
premiere.
opens on Friday, the 21st of November,
Yeah.
and we're seeing an early bird preview on the 19th, on the
Yes.
Wednesday. So I'm very excited about that. Um,
Because the last Wicked I took a Kat to see was on opening night.
yeah. So we're actually seeing it pre-opening night. And yeah, the last time I did a preview like this was actually Raiders of the Lost Ark when that first came out. And I just took a chance because it sounded interesting, but I didn't know it and absolutely fell in love with it. And so I saw it before it opened
Hmm.
for reals.
And also, when last weekend I went to the Adelaide Toy Expo here in South Australia. Adelaide Toy Fair. I was there, and I picked up a whole lot of. I paid so much money. I spent way too much money,
Which
but I
you
bought,
always do with these
which I
things.
always do. Yeah, I mean, it was my very first toy expo that I've ever gone to here in Adelaide. Not going to be my last because next October they've got it again. They've actually run it in two. They run it in April and October, and I'm like, well, I don't want to really. I'd like to do April, but I'd much rather save throughout the year and do a big thing at the end of the year in October. So
Yeah.
it's always in the October long weekend. So I'm looking forward to going to that. But I also went and bought Kat a whole lot of little bibs and
He bought
bobs
me some amazing stuff, including a complete, still factory sealed box of the Star Wars collectible bubblegum cards.
from 1977.
Yep.
And I got her the complete run of the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark cards as well.
Which I'm really impressed about.
Yep. And then I got her.
But unfortunately, I can't play with the Star Wars
No,
ones,
you can't
which
play the Star Wars
no,
ones.
unless we find another complete set that's been opened,
Yeah, which I'm going to be looking for next year when I
because I want to
go
play with them.
because I know where he sells them. Um, but yes, and then I got her got a whole lot of minfigs.
I love the
Uh,
minifigs. I have this, I don't know why, but I am obsessed with Lego minifigs.
Yep. So she's got minfigs of some
So if
Harry
anybody
Potter
has minifigs
ones.
they don't want anymore, send them my way.
Yeah, she loves minfigs. So she's got a whole lot of DC, Marvel, Princess Leia, Harry Potter ones I got her.
Yep.
Um, got her a collectible, which one is that? The Superpowers, Wonder Woman, plus the Invisible Jet,
Yes, the invisible jet is very cool.
a Wonder Woman glass, a Sheldon bobble,
Yes, I thought I had them all, and he found one that I didn't have. It
the
was
one with
Sheldon as Spock,
yes, and doing
the
the
Vulcan hand salute.
which yeah, you can do it. I can't.
And then you have you have
I
Nanu
can't.
Nanu.
I can't do. Yeah, I'm
You
not
have
even
Nanu
trying.
Nanu and Live
Uh,
Long and Prosper.
okay, I can do that one.
I love you too.
Yep, I can do that one and that one, obviously.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I got some original 1977 Star Wars cups.
Hmm.
One of them's not in the best condition, but then again, from 1977, there's
Yeah.
not much you
The
can
fact
really
they're
go
even
with.
still here is a miracle.
Yeah, and I got a snow speeder, and I got a Pokemon card which is PS9 graded, and I got some other stuff. I got
He made out
some.
like a little bandit.
Yeah, actually, I got some good stuff this year, so I'm looking forward to next year going. But that's not what everybody is here for.
No, they're
Everybody
not.
is here for
Hmm.
season 2, episode whatever the hell it is.
Six, the
Six.
Cooper-Nowitzki theorem.
What did we think of the Cooper-Nowitzki theorem?
Except that you forgot what you teased them about last time that we promised them that we'd tell them.
Oh, well, that is up to you. I thought we did that one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, did we last week?
Yeah.
No, we didn't do one last weekend because we did two the weekend before so that we wouldn't have to do one last weekend, which meant in the last episode we told them that I was going to the banquet, but we didn't tell them the
No,
results
we
of the
actually did it
banquet.
because remember we weren't on a split screen. It was just you by yourself, and you had a blurred background, and you put the thing up on the in the front of the camera.
All right,
And then
fine, let's get into the episode.
I mean, you can show it off
No,
again.
fine, get into the episode.
I can show you. I've got the video to prove
So
it.
Ramona, when we meet Ramona Nowitzki, she's played by Ricky Lindholm, who, did you know, originally auditioned for the role of Penny.
I don't think she would have been. She's not
She
a
would have been
Penny.
more like Katie.
Yeah, she would have. She would have been a Katie, which
Yeah,
it wouldn't have worked.
yeah.
Kaylee Cuoco, coming off of the show How to Date My Daughter or
Eight
whatever.
Ways to Date My Daughter.
Yeah.
Eight Simple Rules for Dating My
Yeah.
Daughter. That was a
Was
great show.
Penny.
Yeah.
You know, she was much better as Penny.
Yeah,
Um,
she's strong but sweet.
yeah.
Whereas Ramona's just kind of a bitch.
Ramona is nasty in this.
Yeah, she is.
And it doesn't take long for Ramona to become a bitch.
Nope.
It only takes her to go to Sheldon and Leonard's home for dinner, even though she's bringing dinner at Sheldon's request. It is really, yeah, she is really nasty.
Yeah, she is.
I don't, and I don't know whether you've got this fun fact about her and the girl that
Yes, I do. So
you do.
stop
Okay,
talking.
good. Okay. But the episode opens up where
Of
we're
course
actually
I do. Who do you think you're dealing with, mister?
okay. Be nice to me because there are people that like me on this
Well,
podcast.
I like you too, but I
All
don't like
right.
it when you steal all my stuff.
Well, I didn't realize. I didn't know that. Well, you had that.
Seriously?
I
I
did.
was the one who told you that.
I know. That's why I was saying it.
So
That's
why
all.
wouldn't I have it here?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm waiting to see someone put a comment up on our podcast saying, Paul's such a sweetheart. He's such a lovely person.
Well, I'm the first one to say that, but it doesn't
Uh,
mean you don't have your annoying quirks. Like
okay.
never letting me finish a sentence and trying to steal all my trivia.
You see what I got to put up with Barney? I know.
Hmm.
So the episode opens up where we've got. I like it how you start. I'm trying to start it, and you throw Pikachu
Hmm.
at me. Where we've got Leonard and Sheldon, and they're doing a lecture. And of course, we find out that Leonard has unfortunately ruined one of the experiments because he put sh
He accidentally knocked his peach Snapple
Snapple.
over and it fell into the laser.
Yeah. So we realize now that that's. And of course, this is where he goes. Well, the next
Um,
person is going to talk is Sheldon, Cooper, and he goes, forget it, and he's like, come on, Sheldon, we agreed to do this. He goes,
I'd
no,
have better luck talking to a room full of labradoodles.
and he goes, well, if you don't come here, I won't take you to the comic book store. And then he pops over, hello,
Hello.
and he starts to talk about what he's gonna with the theoretical physics or the theoretical physics that he's going to be lecturing, and he basically does say that there's a whole lot of just vacant looks that's getting back at him, and he's really not interested in doing this. And we will basically just find out that he just screws up the
He's
whole thing.
he's he's just insulting
Yeah, he just insults the
to
entire
them, and
class.
he just insults them like 5 or 6 times and then walks away.
Yeah, and then he
And I
says, "Oh,
love
I'm
how
just going."
Leonard picks up his bag and he's like, "Come along, Leonard." And Leonard picks up his bag and he looks at the group and he says, "The practical physics is looking pretty good right now, isn't it?"
Yeah, the laser looks pretty good right now. Yeah. So the next scene we see is that Sheldon and Leonard and Howard and Raj are having lunch in the cafeteria, and we see that obviously it's going into autumn. So as they say, the leaves are turning, and there's something about there's just grad students have got
Oh, okay.
just enough
So
weight.
basically, it means it's the beginning of a new academic year.
That's right. Thank you. I was trying to
And
find it.
there are, and so Raj is like, the leaves are turning, there's that nip in the air. And Howard is like, yep. And there's the new crop of grad students that are putting on just enough weight to feel really insecure about themselves. Go ahead, honey, have another calzone. Papa can wait.
And I like it how Raj goes, I thought there was a rule about dating grad students. And
And
Leonard
Leonard
goes,
pops up with, well, if you can talk to them, you can date them. And Raj is like, damn it, there's always a catch. Now, I'd
and
like to point out
yeah,
that in the cafeteria, the way Sheldon holds his flatware
yeah.
is in a way that Emily Post would find completely unacceptable and shows a lack of proper dining etiquette. As someone who constantly corrects even the smallest of societal errors in others, Sheldon would know how to hold a knife and fork while he was eating.
Hmm. I was watching that of how he was cutting up his food, and it just seemed very, very odd how he was
Yeah.
doing it. It was almost like it was almost like he picked them up and they said, okay, action. And he's like, I don't know which way to,
Well, it's funny because in Europe, you hold your fork in one hand, your knife in the other, and you cut your food and then just eat it.
hmm,
So it's cut and eat, cut and eat.
yeah.
In America, you hold the fork in the left hand, or let's say you're right-handed. You hold the fork in the left hand, the knife in the right hand.
Hmm.
You cut the food, you put the knife down, you switch the fork to the right hand and eat it. And then
Never
switch it back to do. That's the proper etiquette
really
in America. Yep. And I always thought it was stupid.
living in America for 4 years. I've never done that at all, ever. And I don't think I've ever, I mean, not that I'm actually looking at people eating at a restaurant, but I never saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
that
I've seen
just
people do that all the time.
that adds like such a long amount of dinner.
Yes, it does. But in
That,
theory,
that
it
oh
makes you take longer to chew it more thoroughly, and
yeah, but putting from one hand into
it's
the
a
other
waste of
hand,
energy.
eating back in that hand, do it again. It's
Hmm.
like that's a waste of time.
Yep, it is.
Man. Thank God I live in Australia, which doesn't really
Thank
exist
God
anyway.
we live in Australia where it's sensible.
Well, we don't, it doesn't exist anyway on a map.
Yeah, I know.
People can't find us.
I actually know people in America who are flat earthers and think that Australia truly does not exist, that it's a myth that they made up to um snow people.
Okay, well, anybody that is a flat earther, I want to just let you know, I'm in a place called Australia. I've lived here all my life, bar 4 years in America. I have got an Australian accent. It does exist. Rachel actually sent a video to us of a kangaroo hopping on water. That
That was
exists.
cool.
That does happen. They're that fast that they can actually hop on water.
Wow.
So, yeah. They're also, and also, if you're ever in Australia and you see a kangaroo in water up to like its chest, don't go in there to think that it is drowning and you're helping it out. If they actually try to drown you.
Okay, so why is it there then?
Sorry.
Why is it there up to its chest? Is it swimming?
It tries to get you into the water.
So it's actually trying to track you in
Yeah,
and hunt you.
yeah. Instead of you thinking, "Oh, I'll go and save that poor kangaroo,"
Oh no.
it usually tries to get you in there so I can attack you and drown you.
And eat you?
No, I don't think it eats
But then
people.
why would it want to kill me?
I don't know.
Just another reason not to go in the water.
Australia is really weird, but we do live in Australia.
But it
Um,
is another reason not to go in the water.
so the next scene we see as this whole thing is going on in the cafeteria is Leslie Winkle comes in and starts to, you know, as we do, as it always does, starts to hassle Sheldon. And Sheldon's comeback is just, you're a really nasty person. And this is where we find this grad student by the name of Ramona Nowitzki, but obviously she just says Ramona, and she is very impressed with Sheldon, and she was just so, she was just taken aback with his lecture. I don't really know how you could get excited about that lecture,
And I've read everything you've ever
and
written.
you're just wonderful, and and she says, well, would you like maybe go for a cup of coffee? Oh, I don't drink coffee. Well, how about we go out for dinner? Oh, no, I don't go out for
Well, I
dinner.
do eat dinner.
Yeah, but she goes, okay, what about to go to a restaurant? But apparently, Sheldon won't go out due to the fear of the non-standard cutlery.
Okay, Sheldon does not accept anything with less than four tines as a fork. As
Hmm.
he says, four tines is for eating, three tines is for ruling the ocean
Ruling the seven seas, yeah.
because it's a trident.
Trident, yeah.
Now, the late 1800s introduced mechanized steel stamping and now the standard four-tine fork. Before then, for the last few thousand years, every iron or steel fork was handmade by a blacksmith who needed to hammer out each individual tine. So therefore, most dinner forks had two tines.
Oh, really?
Mhm. And if you watch
Okay.
historical drama that actually does their homework, you'll see that the forks that they use at dinner only have two tines.
So do you think that the reason that they went from two to four is because it's now mechanized
Hmm.
rather than a poor
Then
because
handmade, yeah.
blacksmiths really don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they do, just not in the way that they used to.
Yeah. But hammering out all that, no, yeah, I can see why they'd
Yeah.
go to four. Um, so we find out that she's like, about I come to your place. And he goes, well, now it was Thai food this
Now, see,
night.
it's Monday night, so I eat Thai food.
Yes,
This order
from
from
Cyan
this
Palace.
Siam Palace
And she goes, okay, great. I have your address.
address.
Creepy. That is so creepy.
Stalker.
Stalker right now. And I like it how how it go. Oh, now one thing I meant to mention before we got to the whole thing of her going to the restaurant, when she comes in, Howard introduces himself as one of the engineers that has or helped to produce the liquid
Liquid
disposal
disposal unit on
waste
the
unit
space
on,
shuttle.
and she goes,
Ew.
ooh. And he is still trying to impress her and trying to basically get into her pants.
Yeah. I can't
And
believe that he keeps trying when all she does is look at him and go, and
ooh,
again, ew,
yeah, because she says when she says, what about a cup of coffee? And he goes, and of course Sheldon says, I don't drink coffee. And Howard goes, I do. I love me a cup of Joe.
yep,
And then there is something else that is said, and that's when Ramona looks at him and goes, again, ooh.
ew. Well,
This is
no, that's right, because he said how the it was the Russian guy's name
oh
and then his
yes,
name. Liquid waste disposal unit is turning a
is
lot of
turning
heads and getting a
yeah
lot of attention right now. And she's like, and I say again,
again, ooh,
ew.
yeah.
And
She is
Howard
not
is ew.
she is not interested in him whatsoever. But the fact is that he is trying his hardest to possibly get a chance with Ramona. And as we know, she's got stars in her eyes for Sheldon only.
Yeah.
So we see that when, he goes, she says, okay, I'll see you tonight. I've got your address and leaves. This is when Howard goes, do you see what has happened here? And he
Howard
goes,
or Leonard?
Howard, the last part is when Leonard says it. This one is when, did you see what's happened? Yeah, do you know what? And he goes, yes, apparently I'm getting a free meal.
Dinner. Yeah.
Does Sheldon actually though pay for dinner? Like I've never seen Sheldon cough up any money when Leonard's gone to buy dinner for them.
No, he does.
I've just never
We
seen
just
it.
don't see them all settle up. There's only once or twice that we ever actually see that, and it's when
Oh,
Penny
okay.
doesn't have any money.
Yeah, because I've never seen her, you know,
Yeah.
seen him cough it up. So the next scene we see is Ramona is standing at the bottom of the escalator or the elevator waiting to go. And of course, Penny comes in and goes, "Oh no, 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 no! This is broken, absolutely." So she says, "Okay, well, I guess I'm taking the stairs." And she goes, "Oh yeah, where are you going?" And he goes, "She said, oh, 3A,
4A.
oh 4A, sorry." And she goes, "Oh, you're going to go and see Leonard?" And she
Leonard.
goes,
And she's like,
"No,
no,
Doctor
Dr. Cooper.
Cooper, Sheldon Cooper."
Yeah.
And yeah, Sheldon Cooper. And they're walking upstairs, and she goes,
And she's like,
"Sheldon
wait a minute, tall,
Cooper."
skinny, looks a bit like a praying mantis.
And she goes, "Yeah, he is a bit that way,
He
isn't
is
he?"
kind of cute, isn't
Yeah.
he?
And she goes,
Sheldon
"Sheldon
Cooper.
Cooper." And so we see her get all the way up to the top of the stairs, and
And she goes in, and Penny follows her.
but because Penny is standing there, and Leonard opens the door, and he goes, "Oh, hi, Ramona, come on in." And Penny's standing there, and he goes, "Hi, Penny," and she goes, "I need to see this," and he
And
goes,
no, he's like, what are you doing
"That's
here?
right,
And she's like, I have to see this. And Leonard's like, okay, the viewing gallery's over there and points to the couch. And she sits down between Raj and Howard
yeah."
because Raj is now in Sheldon's spot and Sheldon never said anything.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No. So you've got Raj in Sheldon's spot, you got Penny,
Then
Howard, and
Howard
they got Leonard, and
sitting on the
Leonard's
arm of
and
the
Leonard is
couch.
standing. Leonard's
No, he's sitting
standing.
on the arm of the couch.
No, I thought he was standing.
No.
Okay. So and he goes, Sheldon, you Ramona's here, and of course because Sheldon comes in and she said, "I'm sorry, I was so
Oh,
late, but I
but I
was
got
reading one
caught
of
up
your
reading your latest
yeah,
paper. And I'm sorry I didn't bring enough for your friends, but I thought we would be alone."
I know,
And
like,
gives Leonard the death
excuse me?
stare.
It's like, hang on a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa.
He lives here.
I live here.
Yeah.
You are not going to come in and suddenly dictate to me where I am going to go. I mean, my first thought would have been, excuse me, Ramona, I live here. You're coming here for dinner with him. Have your dinner, but don't tell me
That I have to leave.
to leave for me to leave, and all my friends have to leave. We're all going to be sitting here. If it's not comfortable for you, then you can go.
Hmm.
But Leonard goes, yep, we were going to just, and as he goes. Yep, we were gonna go and I think it was like we were gonna go and I think Penny's the first one that says, "Oh, come on, we'll be quiet."
Yeah.
And that's when she goes, and that's right. And when he goes, "We're gonna go," and of course this is how it goes to watch, right? So we all need to sit here and watch this, but they all leave the apartment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And this is where
Yeah. Leonard makes them
Penny,
all leave.
yeah, and this is where Penny actually says, "Okay, I've got a question.
What
What
is
is
Sheldon's
Sheldon's deal?"
deal? Guys, girls, sock puppets?
And this is where Howard postulates that Sheldon will reproduce by mitosis.
Which is where he will eat enough Thai food that he'll eventually just separate into two Sheldons.
Yeah. And then of course, Leonard postulates that Sheldon is a larvae of his species, and one day he'll grow a cocoon around himself and then emerge as a butterfly with wings and an
Exoskeleton.
exoskeleton. And this is where Penny's like, yeah, well, thank you for the nightmares. And he goes, well, Penny, do you want to hang out with us? And she goes, what are you guys going to do? And they've
And
got that,
Howard's like, well, my mom's making a brisket, so they're thinking that sounds pretty good.
yeah. And Leonard's like, oh, the one with the little onions. And he's like, yeah. And Penny's like, yeah, I'm
I'm
busy.
busy.
And so we find out that they are going to go up to have a brisket party as
The B to the R to the E to
yeah,
the
as
I to
Raj
the S to the
starts
to the E
singing.
to the T. Woo, woo.
Yeah, stop it.
I love Raj.
So the next scene we see is
Oh,
Pen-
and so Sheldon, when Ramona said that she was got caught up in his last paper, and he said, "Did you like my example of mirror symmetry?" Saying that the Flash was playing tennis with himself,
yes, that's right.
and that is not mirror symmetry. That is rotational symmetry.
Oh,
Yeah. So
mirroring is the same.
yeah,
Yeah. So if so the same mirror imaging is if you got your hand and put it on glass and did that,
yeah,
your hand does exactly the same
yeah,
as yeah.
exactly.
There's mirroring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the next scene we see is we're back in the cafeteria of Caltech, and Ramona is being very helpful to Sheldon. And Sheldon's sitting there and he's, doodling away, feverishly. And Leonard comes in and says, "Are you not going to have breakfast?" And he goes, "Yes." Yeah, "Are you not having breakfast?" He goes, "Yes, I am having
And
breakfast."
he's
And
like,
he
"Oh, are
goes,
you experimenting with nutritional suppositories again?"
"Not in these pants." And we see that Ramona has come and has bought him his breakfast. And as she has said, as she pointed out to Sheldon, that he is wasting 20 minutes a day waiting in cafeteria lines
At
for
least.
food.
Yeah.
And of course, I like it how he goes, "Oh, did anyone
Did
touch my
anyone
food?"
touch it? She's like, "No, ever gloves were worn through every step. I was very vigilant."
Yes. And it's like I can imagine her being
Yep.
there, just being an absolute,
Yep.
yeah. The next scene we see is in the same scene is that Leslie Winkle comes in and has a verbal confrontation with Sheldon. Of course, and she calls Sheldon a dumbass and that he's preparing his papers for the
For
Smithsonian
the
Museum of
Smithsonian,
Dumbassery.
yeah. And
And
Ramona
Ramona comes
turns
back
around and says, "Well, they're not going to have room for it until they remove the permanent Leslie Winkle collection."
and of course Leonard Sheldon goes, "Oh, good one." And she goes, "Oh, I see you've got a grad student to fight your battles for you. I'll let you keep your lunch money today."
And then Ramona says, "Well, if you are planning to stay, then you need to sit down, be quiet, and respectful."
And of course, this is where Leslie walks off. And then Ramona shoots Leonard a death stare.
And he stands up and calls after Leslie, going, "Wait for me," and leaves.
Ah, my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, this is where the controlling factor really starts
Yeah.
because in the next scene we see, um, you know, Penny comes into the apartment or to their apartment to drop off a package, and as she opens the door, there's Sheldon on the sofa with one foot, being manicured and everything by Ramona, and the other one in
Soaking.
like soaking, and she comes in, she
And
puts
he's
the
sitting there working on his
yeah,
laptop while this is
and
going on.
Ramona like looks at Penny and goes, "Dr. Cooper is working," and she goes, yeah, okay, I'll just put this parcel here and I'll go," and walks out and it's the old holy
Holy
crap on a
crap
crack.
on a cracker.
And of course, yeah, this is where Leonard's walking up the stairs, and Penny's like, "I don't think you want to go
You
in
don't want
there."
to go in there.
And he
And
goes,
he's
"Why?
like, "Well,
What are they
why?" And
doing?"
she's like, "The only way I could explain it would be in a therapist's office with sock puppets."
So this is where Leonard decides to walk in the apartment and then goes, "Okay," and we see the same thing. And of course, this is where Ramona again
Dr.
says
Cooper's
Cooper is
working.
working, and he goes, "Yeah, I can see that. Come on, Sheldon, are you going to Cutherapoli's? We're going to
For
Halo night."
Halo Night.
And he goes, "Oh, good. I'm just going to
Dry my
dry my
tootsies.
tootsies." And this is where Ramona says, "You're not going to Halo night." He goes, "Yes, I am. It's Wednesday night. Wednesday night is Halo night." And she comes back with, "Didn't a great man once say that uh,
The advancement of
that's
science
right.
was something about sacrifice and everything
Your
else. And
entire life basically to it.
he's like, yes. And she's like, well,
And
and
who
who
was
was
that
that
great
great
man?
man? Well, me.
Me.
And so
He says, "I
he
can't
looks
go,
at Leonard.
Leonard.
He's like, I'm not going to Halo Night. And he's like, how can I argue with me?
I can't argue with myself." And of course, this is where she also says to him, I think, your friends are holding you back. And he goes, I look at it
Think
more
more
like
that
I'm
I'm pulling them
pulling them
forward.
forward. And he goes, and he says to her, um, does a man with that's right, because she says, a man of your intellect should not waste
Your time playing video
video
games.
games. And he goes, well, I do playing, on Wednesday nights. And she says, and of course, then he goes, does a man of my intellect play paintball on the weekends? And she's
What
like,
do
what do
you
you think?
think?
And he goes,
Damn.
damn,
No, rats.
rats. That's right. And then he goes, the new series of Battlestar Galactica is coming on tonight,
I guess I
uh,
can wait for the DVD.
DVD, and then never watch it. So we see through a little montage of stuff that's going on where at one stage Sheldon is in the bathtub playing a computer game. Ramona
See,
comes
and
in,
this is the
takes that
thing,
away
is
from him.
even the most brilliant minds need downtime.
Yeah, you said that. There was even another scene where you see Sheldon run downstairs in his paintball uniform and then runs back upstairs because Ramona's coming in with groceries. And she comes in and he's sitting there basically in white t-shirt and little
In his
shorts,
underwear,
underwear with
but
the
he
helmet
forgot to
on.
take off the
And
paintball
she
hat.
walks in, smiles at him, and takes it off of his head. And then another scene we see is that he's in the cafeteria, and you think he's reading, a textbook, but she pulls it away from him, and he's reading a Batman comic.
Which
She
he
then
would not
takes that
bring his
away.
comic
No.
to school because it could get damaged.
Mm-mm. So then she takes that off of him and gives him the book back. So you can see he's got that. Damn it. So this is
Okay,
where,
hold on.
yeah.
So this montage has the song "You Can Be My Yoko Ono" by the Bare Naked Ladies, who are also the ones who sing the show's theme song. So obviously they are comparing Ramona to Yoko Ono, who is John Lennon's wife and is often blamed for the breakup with the Beatles.
Yes, I have heard that more often than not that Yoko Ono was the one that destroyed the Beatles.
Yeah.
And that's a very dubious thing to actually have as your claim to fame. I mean, she always wanted to be front row center with John doing something. And when the Beatles broke up, he went solo, and she was there basically trying to get in on the being in the band. Very much Paul McCartney's wife that was in Wings,
Linda.
Linda, that she really wasn't a musician at all, but he put her in there almost to basically just to shut her up. But when you see that Yoko Ono was, yeah, there are a lot of people that do say the Beatles broke up because of her.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't disagree with that at all. But then again, as much as we rag on Yoko Ono, you have to give some of the blame to John Lennon. If
Mm,
is John Lennon that what whipped that he ends up by having to go along with what she says? He could have said, "Excuse me, I'm part of the Beatles. We're not going to do this. I'm." But if he was that easily swayed into
yeah.
what Yoko Ono wanted, well, then there's some sort of blame that has to be put onto John Lennon. John Lennon was an amazing artist, but obviously he was very weak-minded when it came to that.
Yep.
So then we see that Sheldon goes over to Penny's house or Penny's apartment, and he does the three-time knock, which obviously we see this is
And Penny's
starting.
like, it's a small apartment. You really only have to knock once.
And this is where Sheldon realizes that he is in some sort of relationship with Ramona, and basically seeks help from Penny to get rid of her. And he goes, she says, "How do you mean get rid of?" And he says, "Well, you seem to be a very good person with ending relationships because I see man after
After
man
man
leaving their
coming out
part
of here never to
return."
return.
And she's like, "Hang on a minute, it's not man after man." And of course, this is where you hear in the background Dr. Cooper, and of course, this is where Sheldon goes, hide me. I formally require sanctuary."
Yes.
And this is where you see the Ramona comes out of the apartment and says, what are you doing? Why aren't you working?" And he goes, she distracted me. And you see Penny's like, "What? I didn't
Yeah.
do anything." And he goes, I don't have time for your nonsense, Penny. I've got better things to do. And walks out and walks in back in the apartment. And this is where Ramona says, I know what's going on here. And Penny's like, great, will you tell me? And she goes, you're in love with Dr. Cooper. To Penny's answer, yeah, no, that's not it. And she says, we can't be selfish. He is a gift to the entire world. And she's like, oh,
He's a
he's a
gift,
gift,
all
all right.
right.
And she says, you've got to let him go. And she goes, oh, okay. And this is where Ramona puts up her little pinky and says, sisters? And Penny's like, yeah, okay, sisters.
Sisters,
And
and
does
then
the little sister.
Ramona gives her this evil eye as she walks
Oh, the
off.
evil eye that Ramona gives
Oh,
her. It's almost like, um, you know, not trying to be crass, but it's almost like, bitch, don't piss on my tree.
yeah,
I've already marked this
exactly.
territory.
Yep,
He is mine. You are not going to try and come in and steal him. That's why Ramona immediately jumped to the defensive
yep,
or jumped into the attack and said, "We can't be selfish. He is a gift to the entire world," which basically means don't go anywhere near him. I've already earmarked him as mine.
yep.
You know, so this is it's just yeah, okay. So and of course, Ramona also does say that he's going to make this big contribution to humanity, and of course, as I said, Penny is absolutely speechless when this whole sisters things comes out. The next scene we see is Sheldon has made a research breakthrough. And he tells Ramona that he wouldn't be able to achieve this without her. And
Nope,
he's
no, before we get there,
no,
you
okay.
forgot about the Morse code.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes, the Morse code. So the next thing we see is Leonard and Leonard's in his own bed. Sheldon's obviously in his bed, and you start to hear this knocking. It's almost like
A
it's almost like
tapping,
it's a tapping,
a rhythmic
and
tapping.
yeah, and Leonard wakes
And
up.
Leonard's like, what the hell? He's like, Sheldon? And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm talking to you in Morse code. So, and he's like, why? And he's like, so we can talk through the wall.
We
And
are
he's like,
talking through the wall.
and I
Yes, but
don't
it's not
speak Morse
encoded.
code. Well,
And he
here,
goes
let me, this is and he's like, I'm not learning Morse code at 3 o'clock in the
3 o'clock in the
morning.
morning, and
Now,
he
what's
yeah.
interesting is that is that Sheldon does not use international Morse code, but instead uses American Morse code. And it's a slight
Okay.
difference in the A signal.
I was gonna say, is that
American
different?
Morse code is also known as railroad Morse, which references Sheldon's well-known love of trains.
Oh, because I didn't realize there was a difference between American Morse code and
Neither
International
did
Morse
I'd
code.
never heard of that until we did this episode.
Dun dun
The more
dun.
you know,
The
reading
more you
Rainbow.
know.
And he's like, okay, well, and he's like, well, where's Ramona? And he's like,
Oh, that's right.
sleeping in the living room.
First of all, he goes, you don't hear anything. He's like, don't come in, don't come in, don't come in. And then, of course, Sheldon
Sheldon comes
comes
in.
in. He's like, oh, and he goes, you know, shh, Ramona's sleeping on the sofa. And he goes, yes, I know. When is she going to go home?
He's
And
like,
this is where
never.
never. And he goes, I'm going to invoke the Skynet clause. And the Skynet clause is no, he can't do that because he will only help Sheldon destroy something if it's something that Sheldon has already created.
That's
And he
going to
goes,
take over the world.
yeah. Then he goes, okay, well, I'm doing the body snatchers clause. And he goes, no, that's me trying to help you with somebody that's turning into a human
It's
pod.
a pod for something, for
Yeah.
another species.
And
Yeah.
then, of course, Ramona walks in and goes, Dr. Cooper, why are you up out of bed? You need 8 hours of REM sleep for your brain to work in optimal cognizance. And as he's being escorted out of Leonard's room, Sheldon says, what about the Godzilla clause? And he comes back with, only if
Only if
she's going
she's
to
destroying
destroy
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Now,
Rats.
what's interesting is that this is the first mention of the friendship roommate agreement between Sheldon and Leonard. It's the first time the agreement's been
Oh,
mentioned.
didn't realize that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So after all that, and Sheldon being escorted out of his bed, out of Leonard's bedroom, this is where we see that Sheldon is standing in front of two whiteboards, and he's jumping up and down, very excited about the fact that he's actually got a research breakthrough
Yep.
and that he tells Ramona that he wouldn't have been able to achieve it without her. And she goes, I just was there just to give you some,
Encouragement.
guidance and encouragement and stuff like that. And he goes, oh, you did more than that. You've done so much more for me. How can I ever repay
Well,
you?
it's like you helped me with this, you helped me do that, you
You helped me
punished
work
my
out the
hammer
math.
toe.
That's right. And he goes, "What can I do to repay you?"
And she's
And
like, well, would you consider calling it the Cooper-Nowitzki theorem?
which he comes back with,
Who's Nowitzki?
"I'm Nowinski."
Get
No,
out!
because first of all, he goes, "Oh,
You
so
want to share credit.
you'd like me to share credit with my discovery with you?" And she goes,
Uh-huh.
"Yes, get
Get
out."
out.
So
Now,
then you
uh,
see poor old Ramona coming out and Penny coming up the stairs in what can only be described as the worst 70s dress I've ever
ugh, it
seen.
was hideous.
Vile. To which Penny then says, "Oh,
Sisters?
hi, hi."
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, and Ramona goes, "Oh, bite me." And this is where Penny goes, "Sisters?"
Sisters?
and walks into the apartment.
Okay. Now, the climax that we just witnessed of this episode is apparently based on an old joke.
Okay.
In one version, there's a script writer whose scripts are awful and have all been rejected. He's visited by a magical elf, and the elf offers to rewrite everything the scriptwriter produces so it'll be an instant hit. The elf also says he would do this for nothing in return. The scriptwriter agrees. The rewritten scripts earn the writer millions and make him world famous. One day, the elf asks if the writer would do just one very tiny small thing for him. And the writer says, anything at all. Well, says the elf, could you put my name down as co-author to one of these scripts?
Okay.
And the script writer says, co-author, F you.
Uh-huh. So that also harks back to when Penny, as we see going down the track, when Penny is trying to do that assignment, and
Mm,
Leonard comes into the apartment and rewrites it for her and says, "I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just a happy little elf that helped you out." There's the
yep.
callback to that. So the next scene we see after Nowinski has been ejected from the apartment, the next scene we see is the boys are back in Caltech cafeteria, and another student comes in saying that she read his theorem, and it just took her breath away. And of course Sheldon comes back with, "Well, maybe when I publish it, I will include an inhaler." And she says, "I if you've got some free time, I'd love to pick your brain." And he says, "Well, yes, today is Thursday, which is pizza night, pizza from Giacomo's, which is olive, something
It's
and light olives,
sausage, mushrooms, and light
light
olives.
olives." That's right. And she goes, "Okay, I already have your address," and walks off. And this is where Leonard says, "Do you see what's happening here?" And he goes, "Yes, I'm getting a free pizza." Sheldon,
Do you not
do you
learn
not see
anything?
what's going on? The final scene we see is the Thai food on the sofa, and I'm gonna let you do it.
Well, okay. First of all, I would like to point out, okay, so he wants one a little bit more, and they're like, you've already had four servings.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to point, he's like, well, just one more bite. And I want to point out that Sheldon is eating pad thai using chopsticks. And in an earlier episode, The Big Brand Hypothesis, Sheldon points out that Thai food is eaten using forks rather than chopsticks.
Hmm.
So anyway, that one bite, all of a sudden he's not looking so good. And Leonard's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, I'm just so full. And he starts to shake uncontrollably and suddenly splits into two. And there's two identical Sheldons sitting there looking confused at each other.
This is where you see suddenly Leonard wake up out of bed screaming, going, "Ah! All right, that's it. No more Thai food,"
No more Thai food.
which is rubbish because they still have Thai food. The episode then goes black, and that is the end of Ramona's. For a while anyway. We don't get to see Ramona for
Yeah,
quite
we
a
do
while.
see her again, but it's in
In
like season
season
10,
12. Is it 12? 10
10
or
or
12?
11.
I know it's getting up there
Yeah.
when she comes back for a
Yeah, it's like 10 or
special.
11 when
Yeah.
she comes back.
But
Now, I would
yeah.
like to point out that Ricky Lindholm, who played Ramona, is part of the musical duo Garfunkel and Oates with Kate McCucci, who we know as Lucy, Raj's anxious girlfriend, ex-girlfriend.
Yes, we do.
Now, they also wrote the song that Howard and the gang sing to Bernadette in season 7 when it's their
Oh, with
anniversary and she's in isolation.
isolation.
I love that song.
The girl who plays Lucy, she does street art in and around New York. You have to go and follow her on her Instagram page,
Okay.
but you actually see her literally go and do some street art on like signposts and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So very, very talented drawer as well. And
That's
I've
called an
actually,
artist, darling.
yes, I know, dear. Thank you. But I'm just that she went. I saw one of the pieces that she did. One of the street arts was near a pizza shop that she did. Really, really talented woman. Um, very, very talented. So yeah, I. But one thing I don't like about this episode is the fact that Ramona and it's not the actress's fault because it's just the way that Ramona is written, but the just the sheer rudeness
Yeah.
of her and the taking over of Sheldon's life. But then again, I don't see, I wouldn't say that Sheldon is always a pushover. He tends to be the alpha in scenarios. Everything needs to be done his way
His
or
way.
not at all. So for another alpha like that to come and completely destroy everything that Sheldon that we know about him
Well, it
was very
wasn't destroying
hard to
everything we know
understand.
about him, but it was definitely controlling. But she did it in a way that would appeal to him, which was total flattery and acting like she was worshiping him.
Yeah,
I can see, I can understand Sheldon going for that.
because he does say she's got a wonderful way of, revering me.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can understand, but I just don't like the way that Ramona goes about it. But we've had people in our lives, I'm sure all of us have, where we literally stand away from it after it's all said and done and gone, my God, how controlling were they on my life?
Yeah.
I had that very person, which was I never saw what the outside world saw.
And and they tried to warn you, but you didn't want to
Yeah.
hear it. Yeah, same
And
here.
it's now it's only now after all these years that I look back at what I was involved in that time and gone, no, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
That's not. I'd never want to go back to that at all.
Yeah.
That's just, and I think that's where not Ramona. That's why I just don't like Ramona. I think Ramona reminds me too much of my previous
Yeah. That makes sense.
involvement. So that's why I've
That
never
would make
really taken to Ramona
sense.
at all. What was our food count this week?
Four times lunch at Caltech and one snack. So a pretty food heavy episode.
Yeah. Now, I know a lot of us are going to be sitting there going, hang on a minute, what about the Thai food at the end of the episode?
That was a dream sequence.
Yeah, so that wasn't real, so we don't count that one.
Yeah.
Um, do we have any more fun facts or our crazy credits?
Of course we have crazy credits, you silly goof.
Do you want to do that before you do the
Now
question of the week?
we're gonna do the question of the week first.
Okay.
Have you ever watched someone get completely taken over by a new friend, partner, or coworker, and you're just sitting there thinking, "Oh no, they've been yokoed."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're thinking of too.
I have seen it.
That's
We
because
all
he married his mother.
we all saw it. We've
Yeah,
all
he
seen
married a
it.
woman identical to his mother, and that's not a good thing.
I'm not going to say who it is because if that person ever listens to the podcast, they will immediately know who I'm
Yeah,
talking about. But all I can say is everybody, everybody saw it, has seen it,
yeah,
and categorically said, this is the worst mistake he's ever made.
yep,
I will say no more about that, except that that is definitely true. And for my
yep,
scenario, everybody saw that I got yokoed, but I couldn't see it. It's only when you move outside of the circle
yeah,
and you're no longer in it that you see that you were yokoed big time. So,
yep.
yeah, what about you?
Um, I mean, I dated guys who were, I remember dating this guy way back in the Wayback Machine. Um, and he basically tried to gaslight me into thinking I was crazy.
Yeah,
And I finally got out of the relationship and I found out that he was actually an extremely abusive alcoholic. He used to beat the crap out of his ex-wife, and all of this stuff. And I'm looking at, and we had like a whole circle of mutual friends, and I'm looking at it like, why didn't anybody say anything to me? And they're like,
yeah.
oh, well, you wanted to be there.
Yeah, but a bit of a warning might have been
It would
helpful.
have, it would have been nice to know I wasn't crazy,
Yeah,
because I was like, he's saying these things, and I'm like, I know that's not the case, but they say it enough with enough conviction that you start to really doubt yourself. It would have been nice if someone had actually said something to me
Yeah.
because I thought I was crazy.
Yeah. One more thing before we get into our crazy credits.
Uh-huh.
Um, on a personal note,
Hmm.
we want to give a big across the board congratulations to Aiden,
Yes.
who has just graduated.
Who's been with us from the very, very beginning.
Yep, him and his dad have been here,
Yep.
been with us from the very beginning. Aiden has graduated from military.
From Paris Island,
Yeah,
Marine basic training. So he is now a full-fledged private in the United States Marine Corps. Whoa!
yeah. That is an amazing achievement,
It really
and we
is.
are, regardless of what anybody else says, we in the PMS family are so incredibly proud of Aiden for doing
Yes.
that,
And he looks very
and
handsome in his uniform.
very handsome in his uniform, and yeah,
So big congratulations to his very proud papa,
he's an
Craig.
inspiration to us.
Yeah.
So Craig, congratulations on having an amazing son, and congratulations Aiden for achieving that. That is
Yeah.
amazing. And in saying that, I want to be the first person to say to Aiden, thank you for your service.
Yes. And watch your
Because,
six.
yeah, watch your six, but thank you for your service to the country. Because without people like Aiden,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know where we would be with our freedom.
Mm.
It's people like Aiden that go into wars when people are running away,
Yep.
they run in.
Especially the Marines.
Yeah, Marines are badasses.
Yeah, they are.
So I just wanted to give a very big congratulations to Aiden and congratulations to Craig. I think it's amazing. So from all of us, the PMS family, well done, Aiden. Congratulations, mate.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's get into our crazy credits this week.
Chuck Lorre Productions number 223. Censored. Open letter to Sumner Redstone. Dear Sumner, I just saw that you're single again. I'm sorry, dude. Love hurts. I too have recently returned to being the loneliest number, which is what got me to thinking that maybe you and me could hang out, hit some clubs, chat up the ladies. I've got to believe that you'd make a killer wingman. Ooh, great idea for a dating reality show. Prenup Chuck and Endless Summer and the Endless Sumner. I also saw that you're going through a little tough time in the old money department. Not to worry, the drinks are on me. You can tip the waitress if you promise not to marry her. Just kidding. I kid the moguls. Ask Rupert. Your pal, Chuck.
Okay. Yep. As I said, and I've said it before, and I'll say it to the end of this podcast when we finally wrap up the very final episode ever. Chuck Lorre just has a strange mind.
Yes.
But you know what? As long as he's happy in his own mind, it's all
I
good.
would love to have dinner with Chuck Lorre because my world is unique and strange, and Paul's always like it's a very odd place in your mind. I'd love to have my mind meet his mind and see what happens.
Yeah, I would probably be sitting there not understanding what the hell these two are talking about, but just be happy to be in the presence of two wonderful people. So, but yeah,
Well, I
Chuck
once
Lorre.
had it said to me that if I could get a job as a collaborative writer, the way that my brain works and I brainstorm, I'd never want for anything ever again.
Hmm,
I think that would be a fun job.
Chuck Lorre, amazing.
Yeah.
Next week.
Season
Next week is
2, episode 7, the panty pinata polarization.
I love this episode.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this one. Except for the creep factor that is Raj and Howard. Everything else is awesome.
Yeah. Especially Howard.
Howard, very creepy. But yeah,
And
Raj is going
misuse
along
of
with it.
military resources.
Yeah, Aiden, don't go down that path. But no, that is, yeah, I'm looking forward to this for next week's episode. So
Yeah, definitely.
thank you for coming to visit us at PMS. Remember, if you want to like and subscribe to us, that would be awesome because that way more people would find us. And also, if you want to send us a direct message, perpetual motion squad 00@gmail.com, or you can just send us a message through the comments section of Spotify. So if anybody's wanting to get, oh, and also remember to join the Facebook page and group and answer this week's question. And as I said, if anybody's sitting there going, hang on a minute, I've answered questions, I've sent an email, what's going on. I don't hear it. It's because we're doing
The
once a month
mailbag.
mailbag.
Which
So
reminds me, yes, you're right. We did celebrate last week because Sarah sent me a celebratory coffee this week.
Sarah did. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sarah, for
thank you,
that one.
Sarah.
Awesome. I think we should go out for coffee then.
Mhm.
Ooh, El Café Bebé.
I'm going to Melbourne next week. I get to have Starbucks.
Well, there you go, Sarah. That's going to be the coffee thing. She's going to take the money. She's going to take the money to Starbucks.
Yes.
See, in Adelaide, okay. So in Adelaide, when Starbucks first was introduced to Australia, we had Starbucks in Adelaide, and I was so excited about it. And Adelaide, being the grandma of Australia, tends to sit there and go, I don't like Starbucks. I like the other one. So we lost Starbucks to Melbourne and Sydney. So the last time that Kat was over in Melbourne and
A
blew
little
her
over
knee
2 years
out,
ago.
a little bit 2 years ago, she found Starbucks. And so she is going to take the money that Sarah gave her for her winning of the award. And I think you should grab your award again and put it in front of the camera so everyone can see it again because it is absolutely amazing. And
It
anyone
is,
that's on
it's really heavy.
anybody that's on YouTube right
Ugh,
now will see it again.
it's really, it's,
There we
it's bigger than my head.
bigger than her head, but put it up a little bit closer so we can actually not your head. There we go, and up a little bit so we can see the bottom. There we go. Simplify your tech. There you are. But yes, that is the award that Kat got. So anybody that's watching us through YouTube just got a chance to see that. But yeah, so she's going to take the money over to Melbourne and
Yep.
see
And go to Starbucks.
and go to Starbucks. I'm
I'm
not kicking her
actually,
out of the house. She's going to a seminar.
I'm going to actually a very exclusive business retreat.
Yeah.
They've only invited 10 people to be part of this, and I get to be one of them.
Yep.
I'm very excited about it. Yeah, so cool.
So she's off to Melbourne next week, but that doesn't mean that you won't get a podcast next week. You
Yes.
certainly will, and you'll get another obviously video podcast
Yep.
along with it here on YouTube. So it's all good. And as I said, if anybody wants to see us on YouTube, come over. It's a great place to hang out.
And don't forget to join the Facebook page and group so that you
Yep.
can follow along and get notifications and things. And you've already said to invite other people along for the conversation, leave a like
Yep.
and a review, and we'll catch up with you next time for season 2, episode 7, the Panty Pinata Polarization. And in the meantime, we will catch up with the Cheesecake Factory.
Bye, everyone.